Good morning, good morning, good morning. Perfect. We're live. Hopefully that volume's okay. If anybody comes on there, let me know so I can make sure my volume is set okay for you. We are here today talking about balance. Balance, balance, balance. So welcome. I'm doing this live today. Welcome to the True Northwest Studio. How we doing? How we doing? Welcome to my balance. So here we are today. We are going to talk about balance, surfaces, and progression. Balance, surfaces, and progression. So you'll see in front of me that I'm standing on flooring. So in my studio, I actually have my base from my house. I then have black flooring, heavy matting in my small square area here. Then I have cushion matting on top of that. And it's just the easy push together cushion type matting. That's all it is. So already I'm dealing with a artificial surface and I'm dealing with 3 different surfaces going on. So that's just something to think about by itself. Then what you see here is I've taken a blanket, folded it, put it down, and it becomes an additional set of cushion or surface immobility. When we speak about balance, the most important thing to understand is not that you're balancing, it's that your foot is anchored. Your pieces that are touching the ground could be hands, could be feet, the limbs, arms or legs that are touching the ground need to be anchored. And we anchor by pushing against gravity. So when I'm balancing, even like this, I want to push my feet and drop my hips back and anchor my body into the ground. It doesn't matter what surface I'm on. So I want that anchor. Okay, anchor is simple enough. So we got the anchor. Now, every anchor becomes different on every surface. So your foot needs to understand how to stabilize or anchor itself within each of the surfaces that you're using. So in the gyms, we see a lot of different equipment, and it leads us into that instability equipment. So for a balance challenge for yourself, grab a towel or a blanket, fold it into 3 or 4, and we're going to try the anchor on the floor, and then we're going to try the anchor on the cushion, which will change our surface. So to get that anchor to begin with, use both feet before one. We are feet down, big toe down, heels down, hips back. Anchor the lower body in. Once I anchor the lower body in, I should be able to move the upper body, but my lower doesn't move anywhere. That's my anchor. So from there, I should be able to move my body, feel that I'm anchored into position. Core is tight, head is up, feeling the distance, feeling how the more my bum goes back or my body goes forward, it changes my anchor. Adjust to your anchor. Is it even? Do both your feet grab? Is your big toe down? Is the middle of your pad of your foot down? Is your heel down? How do you anchor? So if we were to take that onto one foot, we've now got a tripod. So we've got one foot that's narrow, and then we've got this whole body on top with a whole bunch of weight swaying on a pivot point. So from there, we really got to anchor. This self spot comes in handy. Drop back, push the heel down, knee is soft, toe is down, core is engaged, we're stabilized up, and then we lift that leg up and we have got an anchored foot. Now from there, I can move on that surface. My foot is anchored into that surface until I change the surface. So let's try a few anchors. Let's try 4 down. So let's get both our legs first and we'll do the squat 6 times with an anchor. Feet down, pretend you have hockey pads on the knees. Turn the feet, anchor them in, big toe, pad of the foot, core engaged, chin up, shoulders back and down. We go down for 6, 5, feel how stable the legs are, 4, 3, 2. You should just feel how stable your legs are. One more, one more. Yep. Now we got to do single anchor. One leg, core tight, shoulders back. Self spotter. I call this a self spotter. You do not want the body doing this. That is not balance progression. That's too hard. As soon as your body does this, put the foot down, stabilize, go back into it. Core is tight. Up we go. Anchor that foot. 5 more. 4. I'm also using my vision. My vision is one of my senses. If I keep it centralized and focus on something, it helps to stabilize me. 1 more. My anchor never moved. We got to do that on the other side. Take your vision, focus, keep one spot. It helps to keep your balance as it's one of your proprioception or one of your somatosensory mechanisms. Core tight, shoulders back, anchor in. Down we go. Oh, I wavered on that one. I'm going to put my anchor down because this is my broken side. Hup. I want to get good balance on my anchor, so I'm not going to test it. Today it ain't working for me. We have our good and bad days. I'm going to practice it, but I'm not going to make it go too far. Oh, see? One more. Oh, okay. Shake that out. Try that whole entire thing on that surface. Stand both feet on it. See what it feels like. Get off. Stand one foot on it. Walk the foot. Walk the foot. Walk the foot. Walk the foot. Feel what that feels like. Now try the other side. Right in the middle. Feel what that feels like. Okay. Now that you felt it, you tested it out, you're like, okay, I'm not going to fall. Now we anchor and we move. The first thing to getting the anchor is to hold what we call static balance. So we haven't done the surface before, so we're just going to get into a position where we can hold it and see if our ankles read. Abs are tight, shoulders back and down. How are you doing? On your surface. Is your ankle stabilizing out? I'm going to try 2 tip forwards. I'm going to try 2 drop downs. Up, 2 of them. Not too bad, but I can feel it. Wow. Up. Hard to anchor. Oh, that one was super hard to anchor. Okay, the more cushion we get under the feet, the harder it is to anchor, the more we need that claw position going on. Abs are tight, shoulders are back. Push the foot down, anchor it into your surface, even though you can't really. Try it. Lift, find it. Does it stabilize? Does it calm down? Keep the vision. Focus. Having these strong foundations on your feet, these anchors, means that the rest of your legs and your body won't hurt when you do it. So that was just going over the different surface. So you can easily at home progress your balance from shoes, take the shoes off, to feet, to adding an unstable surface simply like a towel or a blanket. That's great. What we see in the gyms is large progression. So I'm going to show you 2 tools that you might see in the gym, and many of you have seen these pieces as well. This is called a Bosu. Both sides up. We have blue and we have black, which is the hard surface, to the soft surface. BOSU stands for both sides up. It's now progressed from that and is called a balance trainer. So this is training your balance mechanisms. This is a Bosu or a balance trainer. This is a board, and it is a balance board that you stand on that is on a pivot. And you have devices in here to rock that board and make it harder or easier. If you take these corks out, it becomes unstable. You put the cork in, it becomes stable. If you don't know that in your gym, look for the corks in case you have them. They might be out. Okay, so you have to make sure your balance equipment is stable. So if I have this balance board, I'm on this pivot, I would start feet wide. Now I've really got to control and push what's happening on those ankles, but they're on a hard surface. So they're anchored in, and that's moving the work up my legs because my ankles are anchored in. And now I got to try and get, I'm terrible at this board. Core is tight and try and get across that surface, keeping that core tight. So this will work your core a little bit more, works the knees, works the ankles, but you can see I'm not really good at it. Core stable. There's not many surfaces I use this for. Now, if I were going to be snowboarding, this would be fantastic. If I were a skateboarder, this would be fantastic. If I'm thinking of being on the ice, this would be fantastic. But it is advanced. So you have to be careful on how you would use this balance board. You would need to be coached through it for, I can't coach you through it. You need to be coached through it for hours. It's an hours process. Hours. 2, we see these and we see a lot of home versions. Be careful. It taxes everything. When you get on it, test it out. You can have different heights on it. It actually blows up to be different heights, so you can have it harder or less. As soon as you're up there, that knee is high risk. You need to make sure that you're stable, core is tight. So now this surface is so unstable below me that it is going to challenge my balance to the max, to the maximal. And if I got to get off, I got to be very careful. Balance progression. We don't go from, here's my challenge. If I have people who've never balanced, and then I do a class and I'm like, okay, let's go do a Bosu balance class, and half the people have been on one and half the people haven't, I am super risking the half of people that have not been on the balance trainer. Super risking it. And most of them can't hold. So if you ask me your very first position, I would say find the surface that is flat on the ground, get into a hold position and hold that without moving, focused, core is tight for a solid 30 seconds. Once you've done that, you can then start moving from that same surface to a movement pattern. Once you can move on that surface safely, you then can change the surface and go back into holding on the surface first, to moving on the surface, to advance that to an unstable piece of equipment. We hold on it first, and then we move on it. But it must be progressed. You must progress your balance, and you must do it safely. It decreases your risk of fall. It increases the actual fact that you're progressing. By just going out of control all the time, that doesn't progress your balance. It increases the fight and flight in your body, and it says that you're going to get injured. I want my balance to feel safe and doable. I want my brain to say, we did this last week. I want my brain to say, Kim, you got this. You got this. Oh, I like doing that. I don't want my brain to say, well, that is just too much work. Anchor, learn your surface, move on your surface, change your surface. Anchor, hold on your surface, move on your surface, change your surface. Anchor, stay on your surface, move on your surface, change your surface. It's a 3-stage. Anchor, move, change. Anchor, hold, move, change. And you can take it up to any level from there. So that was my little thing on balance today and progression. You have any questions for me? Follow me at True Northwest Academy. I'm out there, .ca. Check out my website. I've been working on that. I'm designing that all myself. So I'm trying to figure it out. I love the learning curve. It's not that I don't want all this professional and get this person to do that. I really want to learn how to do this and I'm enjoying it. So check out my website, truenorthwestacademy.ca. And then come into my private group, True Northwest Academy TNWA Community Group. In there, I have snippets of everything going on. And from there, I run my subscription program. So check it out there. March is coming up to cooking. So we're really into the food, March nutrition. Catch us up there. And we're in the happy heart right now. We're finishing off today and we're doing all of our draws and everything through there. So enjoy the rest of your day. Come back at 11 o'clock and I am going to do my program called Feet to Fingers, which is going to be a chair. So you'll need a chair, which I don't have mine. You'll need a chair, this. But if you really want to challenge yourself in the feet to fingers, bring a big stability ball and you can challenge that core on there as well, or you can use it on the chair. Bring a stick, bring a towel. We use our bands and we like to use our fingers and our toes all the way through. So I will see you at 11 o'clock for that feet to fingers. And thank you so much for coming. Shut it off and have a good morning. Make sure you eat and that you are having lots of water in the wintertime. We're not really thinking about that water. So make sure you're getting lots of water at the same time and have a good rest of your morning.